Yeah, next on the Marley Rock Show, man, good friend of the Rock Show, we've got Nate Compton joining us. He is from the band Elisium, one of the hardest working bands I know. They're out of Fredericksburg, Virginia. Nate, welcome back to the show.
K-Rock, thank you for having me, and thank you for the kind words as well, my friend. That's very nice of you.
Hey, they're really true words, man. I'm telling you, man, I see, I mean, there's a lot of fans that are road dogs out there, but I don't know too many that I just keep plugging away as hard as you guys do. And you're wrapping up a tour called the Free Music Tour, so tell us, how does that tour get its name?
Sure, yeah, absolutely. The Free Music Tour is basically it's the idea of giving music away for free, right? We have been having a whole tour where we have a pile of compilation CDs, and everybody that comes to every show leaves with a free CD. So there's a number of bands doing this. Our agency's packaged some bands together. It's actually like a 4-part tour, so we just finished the first leg of it. We got 10 days off before we start the second piece. And then 2 other bands are going to carry it forward into the summer and keep doing free music tours throughout like the first half of the year. So a lot of stuff canvassing the country, and all these bands will have free CDs. We basically just want to get new music in the hands of concert goers, and hopefully they buy our T-shirts and stuff like that too. But we really want to spread the word about good music.
So that's a really cool idea. So, like, all the bands that are kind of part of this tour, you're kind of cross-promoting and getting the music in people's hands, and that's a really smart idea, man. So, are you headlining these shows? Are you co-headlining them, or how's that going, or who are you playing with?
Yeah. So the first 2 parts of it, the first leg and the second leg that's coming up, Elisium, we're headlining it. This first piece, we went out with a band called Dimeside out of Miami, Florida. Terrific band. We really had a good time with them. And the second piece of it will be supported by a band called Divided We Stand. They come out of Tennessee, Knoxville area, I think. So yeah, we're headlining the first 2, and then after that we go and do some different stuff. And I think Heartsick takes over and headlines the 3rd leg of the Free Music Tour. And beyond that, I don't even know. But
I want to talk to you a little bit about the Shoreline album, man, and there's so many things that are great about that album, but the first thing I want to ask you about is the song Mega Man. That is one wild song, man. Tell me about that one. It's a little different for you guys.
Yeah, man, definitely. Mega Man is, there's no vocals in Mega Man. It's just NASA sound effects and, the voice of Neil Armstrong, and you get to hear some Richard Nixon in there. We were writing songs for the album, and we had this riff that we really liked playing. And Curb, our bass player, had this bass riff that reminded me of, like, the video game music from Mega Man, the old Nintendo games, And so we were joking about that, and then the song came together, and I was trying to write lyrics to it, and it just occurred to me how cool it would be to put together a little piece about men going to space and what an amazing thing that is that humans did, to get off the planet. And I think NASA is cool. I love space and stuff, and so it's kind of a positive, feel-good song, and maybe it'll make somebody feel like, continuing the space race or something. I don't know.
And that whole album, when I listen to your guys' music, is that album sort of like an evolution of the next step almost, in just a hint slightly of a little different style for you guys? Am I reading that right?
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, man. We tried to take the lessons we learned from our first record, Becoming, and then our second record, the acoustic music, and kind of combine what works from both records. So we have some heavy music, we have some acoustic music, and we got to work with Brett Hessla out in Florida, who used to play bass in Creed and helped to develop a number of bands like Framing Hanley. And so he had a lot of great insight on how to kind of help us put the music together in a way that was a little bit more mature, I guess, than we had done in the past. And I think the record, it sounds like a growth in the music for sure. I agree with you.
So I should know this by now as many times as I talk to you, but I don't. Do you exclusively write the lyrics, or does your brother get in on that too as well?
It's just me. It's just me for right now. I mean, I'm always welcome to, open to new ideas and stuff, but he does all the bass work, and I don't do anything with that. I just focus on the lyrics and the guitar playing. But yeah, the lyrics are usually mine. But there's everybody writes a little bit of everything, and so I'm sure you'll see eventually, maybe in the next record, some more lyrics coming from other bandmates.
So you guys were always kind of like, I would say fans, but known for doing a very unusual cover of Safety Dance. Have you guys talked since then about doing another cover that might be, something that the rest of the world doesn't sit through? We see 100,000 times another unique cover. Has that been talked about?
Yeah, we have a kind of a secret stash box of ideas that we are kicking around for new covers. I don't want I don't want to set the stage for anything and then not deliver, but we do have a couple of really kind of wacky ideas, sort of in the style of Safety Dance, that just are hopefully going to come out of left field and catch people by surprise. But Safety Dance was kind of an accident. We just started playing the song live because it was fun, and it caught on, and we ended up recording it, and now it's quite popular at our live shows and stuff, but we never really intended for it to be like that. It was just kind of a joke that grew legs and started to run on its own.
A couple months ago, I had a chance to catch one of your simulcast concerts. Are you still doing any of your shows on the tours simulcast so people can watch from their computer?
That's an excellent question. And we are trying to use Stage It, which is some technology that lets us do that. We played one venue in Florida, and they had a really nice in-house simulcast thing set up, which was cool. For us to do it on our own usually requires, internet connection and stuff like that, but we are seeking venues that will let us do it. We've done a couple of Stage It broadcasts from some shows, and something we want to keep doing. We've been using Periscope as well to try and stream quick little snippets of wherever we are. It's a little app on your phone that lets you watch live video from wherever we are. It's pretty neat. I like that live video interaction type stuff, but the full-blown simulcast is a little more technical than we've been able to muster for most things.
So I got an idea for you, man. I see you guys doing a lot of those GoPro. I would love to see you guys do a Stage It where you are wearing the GoPro so we can become you for the show and just see the audience and the interaction. I think it'd be really fun to do. What do you think?
Right. It's an interesting idea. I wonder how we could pull it off. I'm sure there's a way. I could strap the phone to my head or something.
Man, I mean, because those of us that never get to be that front man, get to, and as much as you move around, probably get seasick up there watching it, but I think it'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it'd be awesome. We, on this tour, like you said, the GoPro, we used it for all kinds of stuff. We strapped it to our drummer's head, and so we got some footage of him playing from that perspective. We put it on our face, and we were filming ourselves drinking beer and taking shots. We got really a couple crazy angles of that. Just weird things you can do with that camera. You can strap it to the end of the guitar and see it spinning around. It's pretty good times.
Hey, you just posted this today, and I stole it when I knew I was going to be talking to you. I love this quote or this comment you made that as we ride home from our recent tour, we've been talking about the best music we've heard has been born and still lives in small, dark, unattended venues. Can you kind of elaborate on that a little?
Yeah, absolutely. That's breaking news. We just wrote that today. Yeah, that's the truth. We talk about stuff while we drive, and some of the best music, the stuff that's really inspiring us, is not coming off the radio, and I think that's different than the way it's been for the past, 20 or 30 years in music. The stuff that's really turning me on and firing me up and our peers are a lot of the bands like us that don't really have huge radio support, that are spending, 200, 300 nights a year in, sometimes shitty little venues. I mean, I can't know if I can say that. Sometimes dark and crappy little venues. And that's where we do our work. That's our office. And it's amazing some of the great music we have seen produced in places like that. It doesn't always have to be on a giant stage, with 100,000 watts of power and tons of lights for it to be an excellent show. And I think the more people are aware of that, the more we can probably get people to come out and see some shows, some of these smaller venues, and experience the great music that's out there that's been energizing all of us for several months and years now.
And I couldn't, the quote touched me because it just reminded me of all those kind of venues that we actually really love going to. And I'm sure you don't remember, but actually the first time I met you was in a venue just like that in Baltimore, a little closet kind of a place underneath of an overpass. And I remember seeing you guys for the very first time there.
Awesome, man. Was that that little room that used to be connected to Sonar? Like that little...
Yeah, that's exactly the one.
Man, that was a crappy little place. Yeah, that's exactly the kind of spot I'm talking about. Where you walk into this place, you go, man, we can't play here. And then by the end of the show, you've made 30 or 40 really great fans, and you've had a great time, and never judge a book by its cover,
Absolutely. So, hey, I know you're busy, but one more thing. What's up for the rest for 2016? I know you got another leg of the tour to do. Are you working on another album already?
We kind of have we're really just focused on touring this year. The album came out in April, and there's so many things to manage with regard to having a successful tour and trying to make sure that's a successful thing. So we haven't begun the new album creation cycle just yet. It kind of feels like we just finished it still, but I know it's coming soon. So I've always got.
Yeah, it was only April, man. Yeah, it was only April,
right?
So.
yeah. But for the first half of the year, we're really just be focused on touring and trying to tour hard and tour smart. As you mentioned, this is our full-time gig. It's our bread and butter. So we basically make our living money, touring. And when we're home, it's expensive. So we're just trying to stay out and make things go. It's actually been a pretty decent winter touring season. We haven't had any terrible weather. It's good. So we're staying afloat. And but hopefully by the summer we nail down some big festivals. And who knows? We're going to be looking for many opportunities to keep climbing the ladder.
Well, I'm hoping for that festival appearance for you guys too, man. We've got a number of them on our bill this summer, and you guys are a band that I know just in front of enough people, man, it's going to happen for you guys to the next level. So, Nate from Elisium, man, as I mentioned at the start, one of the hardest working bands I know. They're from Fredericksburg, West Virginia. Check out their album called Shoreline, and also check out their acoustic album as well. Nate, thanks so much for being here, man. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you giving me the time to talk, man. You guys have a good weekend or a week or whatever the heck day it is. and we'll catch you again real soon, I hope.
All right, man. Have a great night. Thanks.
All right, buddy. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.